Hey Cinemark fans, Dave Rispoli here with the incredible cast of A Color Purple. Taraji, I want to know, what can we expect in Blitz's version?
Vibrancy, life, a lot of joy. And that's who we are as a people. You know history and the things that have been done to black people throughout history that are still happening today. The one thing we have is resilience. And we don't wallow in it. We don't let it consume us. We sing, we dance, we go to church, we commune. Like, that's us. That's us. And when you see this movie from the first frame, it's gonna feel new. It's gonna feel brand new.
Colman, I want to know, this story has spanned decades now. What is it about this story that just kind of stood the test of time?
Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving in a way, right? It's really about family. It's tackling love in many dimensions, father-son, sisterhood, brotherhood, generational trauma. How do you survive? How do you find hope, especially through darkness? How do you become the light? How do you own your power in many ways? So I think that's why these are all very human, and it's not like it's just something we're going to unpack once. No, we're going to constantly have questions about it. And how do we live? How do we become more human? That's what I think why people keep going back to it again and again. And it's not just for, it's specific about African-American experience, but it's very universal because it is that specific. But it really is about what can we overcome in our humanity and how can we find light and more joy.
It's time for you to see the world.
There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on.
This ain't me.
Hush. We need to look like we belong.
Let's see this smile and color.
Sweet and loving God.
I wonder what the experience was for you being a part of the musical and now coming into Blitz's version from your perspective.
Theater is awesome, believe me, I love the theater, but I realize the limitations that it has on your character. Because once you lock in that character, that's what it is. You can't change it. And so now to get to have the breath to really explore Sophia in the way that I have with the time that we have, 6-7 months of shooting, it was just so much fun to get to do it in this, in this cinematic way.
I want to know, with something as beloved and prolific as The Color Purple, how do you make sure you put your stamp on it?
Of course, it's been a Steven Spielberg cinematic classic. It's been a Tony Award-winning Broadway play. But I went back and I read Alice's book, and I found what I was looking for. First page, first line, "Dear God, I'm 14 years old." And I said to myself immediately, anyone who writes letters to God must have an imagination. And that imagination is what we're gonna explore. We're gonna be in the head of this character. We're gonna see how she navigates trauma, how she's gonna navigate liberation, how she's gonna navigate how to love, who to love, how to forgive. And I think that immediately gave us a way in that was going to be unique and stand on its own.
The musical numbers in this are next level. They are so good. And you in particular, I wish I could move like that. What was the process like? Some movies don't even have rehearsals. I'm wondering what the process was.
I didn't even know I could move like that, I guess, before. But Fatima Robinson, our choreographer, pushed and encouraged us to do that work, to find that work. I was blessed to be able to work with Blitz to put a song into the film for Harpo, and that was important to me because I think Harpo, he needed a love song. He decides to lean into his love for his woman with that song, and these songs have purpose. They don't just come out of nothing, and that was important, I think.
On set, Blitz and I really talked a lot about why do characters actually sing in musicals, and we kind of dissected that. And it's, it's another form of language when they don't feel like words are going to express their emotions enough. And so being in this version, especially where we're focusing on Celia's imagination, a lot of the music even starts very naturally. You'll hear like snaps, and the snaps will go into the music, or you'll hear hoofbeats of a horse, and that will start the beat of the next song. And, you know, I think it's really beautiful how we've been able to integrate music into this because, again, it's just another form of expression, especially with a character like Celie. You know, she's someone who probably feels very downtrodden, like she can't speak out, but it allows her and other characters to use their voices in different ways.
And finally, I got to experience this on a big screen with a group. Why should people make sure that they're doing that as well?
This is a story of healing. This is a story of humanity. It transcends race, color, religion, you name it. If you are living, you are human, you will feel something, you will get something out of this film.
Two major elements. One is Blitz Bazule's direction, which is impeccable and it's large, there's great scope. And then there's Dan Lawston's cinematography. Phenomenal. It's like painting. It's like being in Caravaggio's and things. That's really beautiful.
These musical numbers are akin to any smashing, massive concert you've ever been to. And then when it gets emotional, I mean, these intimate moments are deeply cathartic. There's also healing to be found in this work. I find that most people who watch it find something of themselves in it, in themselves, in their community, and I think that that is why we make art, is to heal a little part of ourselves. And I think that that's why people should see this on the big screen, in mass. I think it's going to be worth their time.
Folks, I'm so excited for you to see this film on the big screen, so make sure to get your tickets for A Color Purple at Cinemark.com.
Dear Celie, we are more than just kings and queens. We are at the center of the universe.